What's going on, guys? I'm just having my morning coffee, and I think I'm gonna do it like this. I'm just having my morning coffee, and I've been thinking about something this morning. I wanted to talk with you all about marketing people, of course, and that's what we're talking about here. You have to keep in mind when you're doing your marketing, when you're building your brand. I hate that building a brand thing, but when you're setting your positioning, building your marketing, etc., you got to keep in mind that people are more motivated to avoid disaster than they are to make a gain. Now, anybody who's done sales knows that people are more motivated by pain than they are by pleasure, right? Everybody knows that if you have been doing sales for any amount of time. But people forget that when it comes to marketing. So, you look, I mean, look, does anybody think that McDonald's has the best hamburger on the planet? Of course not. Nobody thinks that. There's not one person in the world who thinks that they're going to get the best burger available if they go to McDonald's. However, McDonald's is the biggest restaurant in the world because everybody knows that they can go to McDonald's and not get food poisoning. I guess that kind of depends on your definition of food poisoning, but still, you get my point. You can go to a small hamburger place, a small local hamburger place that has absolutely amazing hamburgers, but your chances of getting tainted meat go up dramatically than it does if you go to a McDonald's anywhere in the country. Hey guys, Jonathan, Kay, how's it going? Yeah, so what you've got to keep in mind when you are doing your marketing is that, and when you're building your brand and when you're doing things, is that people need to be assured that they are not going to have a disaster when they work with you. So everybody wants results. Everybody want whatever business you're in. People want the results. They want to have their problems solved, but they also don't want to be embarrassed. They don't want to feel like an idiot for doing business with you. Once you can assure them that the business that doing business with you, number one, won't make them look stupid, and number two, won't be a disaster, then your chances of doing business with that person go up dramatically. And this is kind of an evolutionary psychology thing, right? So the avoidance of danger was more valuable through evolution than was the ability to get the best. So, for example, and I'm just going to give you a metaphor example. Let's say, pardon me, a hypothetical example. Let's say that there were fruit on a tree, and the fruit was the most amazing tasting, most wonderful fruit ever. And then there were some other berries that were kind of bitter, but were perfectly nutritious. Now, the thing is that the fruit, which was amazing and wonderful and everybody wanted, the fruit was one out of 100 fruits had been contaminated with a fly that would kill you, right? The fly, eggs or whatever the fly did to the fruit, it made it absolutely toxic. The berries, the fly didn't mess with. They weren't interested in it. So then somebody comes along. The people who eat the fruit, right, who want the best, end up dying. Everybody. Eventually, they're going to get a poisoned fruit. The people who will settle for the berries to avoid the poisoned fruit live. So now now that's a hypothetical, but we can take that example and put it towards, we can talk about tigers in the woods or bears in the woods. You're walking through the woods and you hear a crack. A broken stick, something stepping on a stick while we're walking through the woods is a genetically programmed fear signal. It's why so many horror movies use that sound in a dark place when nothing's around. It's because it's a genetically programmed fear signal for us. No matter where you are, no matter what you're doing, when you hear that sound, humans instinctually and instantly get scared. Okay? That's because it programmed us to run. It didn't program us to look. It didn't program us to think about it. It didn't program us I'm talking about evolution now, did not program us to give some consideration as to whether what we really heard or what that was. The people who lived ran, period. So that's what I want you to keep in mind, is that is that you not only have to give your prospect the idea that they will that you can deliver what you promise you deliver, but you also have to give the prospect the reassurance that they will not have a nightmare situation with you, that you will work with them, that you will follow up with them, that you will be there with them. And this doesn't matter if you're a bricks and mortar business, it doesn't matter whether you're a coach, it doesn't matter whether you're a consultant or a service provider like I am, consulting and copywriting services. It doesn't matter what you're doing. Even if you're just even if you have a local dry cleaning service, people need to know that you're not just going to destroy their clothes and then tell them to go piss off. They need to know that you are that working with you is not going to be a disaster. So that's what risk reversal is all about, right? So we say, well, I'll give you all your money back, but so the problem is that sometimes they don't want their money back. You can't give them time back. You can't give them heartache back. You can't give them irritation back, right? You can't take the irritation away. So it's not just a matter of risk reversal, but you have to go beyond risk reversal. There has to be more than just risk reversal. So this is why people do business with large brands, right? People buy Tide soap because they know that Tide is a huge brand and that they can feel confident that the Tide soap is going to clean their clothes and it's not going to react with their skin and they're not going to get some weird rash and their clothes aren't going to fall apart. That's why they buy Tide. It's the only reason why they buy Tide. There's better soaps, there's healthier soaps, there's better soaps for the environment. But will any of that weird shit actually clean my clothes? And am I going to get some weird rash from it? I don't know, but I know that it doesn't happen with Tide. So keep that in mind and make sure that you're reassuring your customer, your client, your patient. Make sure that you're reassuring them that they're not going to have a horrible experience with you. And when you can do that, then your chances of doing business with them go up dramatically. It's not just a matter of giving them what they want. Yes, you want to give them what they want. But on top of that, you have to promise them that they're not going to, even if they don't get 1,000% amazing, everything is outrageous. Building your brand based on, I know this sounds crazy, but building your brand based on we don't suck and all of our customers are happy is not in lots of places. It's not a horrible place to build a brand, right? I mean, it's not. Southwest did it. They said, look, we're gonna charge you less, but then but you're not gonna have a really bad experience. You're just not gonna have. There's no first class, but we're gonna joke around with you. We're gonna make it up in other ways. It's just a cattle call. There's no assigned seating. Just roll in and sit down, and we're going to make it up in other ways to you. But you're not going to have a horrible experience. You're going to be able to get a discount plane ticket, and you're going to have an okay experience. But nobody thinks that Southwest is going to give you a fantastic experience. So keep that in mind, and I will talk to you later. Cheers.